because we don't have any more double portions for the next little while, I don't think. So good. So we're holding. Good. We have a little bit of time. Hopefully, we'll be able to do a few days Tanya even with interesting Tanya that we have today. So, what are we trying to do? Let's just recap. We're trying to find a way to get love, passion behind our mitzvahs, to love Hashem. That Judaism should not just be done in a way of I have to do it, a route, but I want to have feelings behind it. I want to have emotions behind it. Let me see how I could love Hashem and help me get there. And Tanya is trying to help us get there, to love Hashem with our heart when we do a mitzvah. So we had a number of interesting ways, and we're talking about different meditations and how to love Hashem, right? We've been waiting for this. So we've had a number of ways that we've learned to, I'm sorry, I opened the Chumash by mistake. We need to do the Tanya from last week, Wednesday. We have a number of ways to love Hashem. So let me go through them just to recap, and then we're going to move on to a new method in today's class. We discussed loving Hashem because He's your life. We discussed loving Hashem because He's your Father. And we discussed just plain meditation about the greatness of Hashem, and how small we are, and how we're nothing compared to Him. And we've discussed at length all these ideas in Tanya. What's the challenge with all of them? The challenge is that they all require meditation. They all require meditation. Today's class is going to come up with a new, very interesting method, which actually doesn't really require meditation as much as it requires awareness. And we're going to say that he's going to say it's a very interesting phenomenon in the mirror, in between people. But first, he gives you an example from King Solomon that when you look in the water, the face that you put in the water is exactly what you see reflected back at you. So you see a smile, you smile to the water is going to smile back at you, right? You put in a sad face in the water, that's the face that you're going to see back, correct? You're going to see whatever face you show, whatever in the water, whatever face you put to a mirror, that's obviously the face you're going to see back. But he's going to say very interesting, what we notice, this is what King Solomon's point is that it actually doesn't just happen between the mirror and you. It actually happens between people. He's saying, and it's amazing because it's even more cool by a human being than by a mirror. A mirror is just showing your picture, right? But by a person, the person recognizes the emotions behind their friend, a smile, and guess what? The person smiles back. But you know what? It's actually not just a picture that you're seeing smile back, but their heart is smiling too. So their emotions is reflecting your emotions. Very interesting, right? It's a very true thing in life. And this is very often. You want to be, I tell my kids all the time, you want to have a friend, be a friend, right? So a lot of times in life, whatever you give out, that's what you get back. So in friendship, the person that you're talking to, you give out an energy, and guess what? That person then gives that energy back out. So they don't just smile, fake smile, it actually warms their heart and it actually changes. It's pretty cool that you could, you show love to someone. You love, do a real nice favor for a person. You know what's going to happen? The person will want to do a nice favor back to you, will want to love you back. So you can actually reflect one person to the next, right? It's a very powerful thing in life to use. It's a very good thing to use. I guess we all use it in our life, but a person comes with a negative attitude. Guess what? They wake up a negative attitude in the other person. So you're literally, people literally mirror people. That's a pretty cool thing that we literally mirror each other. Hopefully you're being a good mirror, because then the mirror you're getting back is a very positive, good mirror. So what he wants to say here is, if we would only realize how much Hashem loves us and realizing the love that God is showing to us, we would reflect back that love to Hashem and we would love Hashem. So this is another way. This is a great way, an awesome way to start loving Hashem, is what? Realize how much Hashem loves you. And naturally, what will take place when you realize how much Hashem loves you? you will naturally love Hashem back, which is a really cool, beautiful idea and a very easy way to love Hashem. So what's the difference between this and the other meditations? The other ones require us realize that Hashem is your father, to meditate upon that, realize that Hashem is your life, realize how great Hashem is. This is way easier. This is and it's very easy for most people to do. Just think about how much Hashem does for you, how much Hashem loves you, and guess what? Just like the heart of a man can wake up another man, the same thing is with Hashem. When we realize how much Hashem loves us, we will come back to loving Hashem. And that is the fascinating idea behind today's Tanya. Let's learn it inside. Is another way. This might be like the fourth, fifth, or even sixth method. It depends how you want to divide it up, of love, of passion. You could feel in your mitzvahs, right? We want to love Hashem, and it's equal to everybody. It's possible, it's suitable. This is not, you don't have to be a very smart guy. You don't have to be a brilliant person. This is standard stuff which works on everybody. And it's very close. It's very easy. The technique here that we're going to use is very quickly, very easy for us to get in touch with. To awaken, right? We want to get the light shining. We want to turn the fire on. To awaken the light of that love that is implanted in the heart of every person, in everyone's heart, right? How are we going to wake it up? How are we going to generate that emotion? To get it to be a flaming, strong fire. To make it literally, you feel palpable, real love that you feel in your heart and your conscious mind, or not in your subconscious, but a love to Hashem that is on fire, a real passion, real drive that you feel behind your mitzvahs when you do it, that you connect, you feel a connection to God, you feel emotions to God. That even the love, it could be so strong that he'll want to even surrender his soul to Hashem, give himself up and his body and all his material possessions, right? It's not always cheap to be a Jew. You got to pay for yeshiva education and these things. It's you'll love Hashem enough that you'll be even ready to give up your life and your body, do stuff that are bothering to your body. You're not interested in doing physical stuff, financial stuff, and even give up your life to Hashem because of this love, with your whole heart, with your whole might, and so with your soul, from the depth of your heart, and it'll be a truthful love. It's not going to be fictitious emotions, which we're against. It's real love and feelings. We're going to tell you another way to generate real passion, real feelings, real emotions to Hashem. Who and what is it? Now he's going to tell you what it is. Okay, so there's another love that's easy to come by, that everybody could do it, and it's real emotions, and you really feel it palpably in your heart. Who? And it is when you internalize and you understand what the verse says, right? What does the verse say? Where does it say it in Proverbs? And Solomon says in chapter 27, verse 9, like water mirrors the face, whatever face you put into the water, that's the face you see back. Guess what? Not just as the face of man to man, but leva adam el adam, the heart to heart. You could move somebody's heart. You could literally change somebody's emotion. How? By projecting the emotion you want to project. Go over to someone, show them tremendous love, that you really love them, give them a gift and give them a hug and talk to them. Just imagine if you just call someone on the phone and say, you know what, I really love speaking to you. You know how good the person's going to feel? It's going to change their heart. Not even, you don't have to see the physical face. You can just hear it on the phone, and the heart will reflect the heart. Pirush, meaning, just like the face of a person's face that they show into the reflection in the water. You see that exact face back in the water. King Solomon saying, that's an amazing thing about the human being, is the same exact thing is in the heart. With his love to another person, that hearts reflect hearts. A very cool idea that works in regular civilization with human beings is that hearts reflect hearts. They mirror other hearts. And if a heart shows him love, guess what? If you feel loved, you'll love. That's how it works. This is like, I'm just thinking also in parenting, this is very important stuff. If your kid feels that you love him, then the kid will be able to love others. If a kid's brought up doesn't feel loved, it'll be hard for him to love others. So, right, he'll love his parents if he feels loved. This love, so when you love your friend will love you back naturally. It's just the way it works. To be true lovers means real friends. be real friends one to another, that their love will be real. We're not talking about prohibited stuff as we're learning in the Chumash. We're talking about real friendship, real commitment. You want to have a friend, be a friend. Show the kind of emotion you want back, because whatever you show, that is what's reflected. It's literally like a heart of a person is literally like a mirror. Especially when you see your friends love to you freely, just you feel it, you want to be a friend back to that person. That's just what you want to do. That is a natural impulse by all people, I guess at least healthy people we're talking about here. Even if it's two people on the same wavelength, which means two guys, same class, same family status, two women friends, whatever it is. You love a person who's on the same, social status as you. They will love you back. Even if you're nothing special higher than them, they will love you back, because that's the way it works. However, we can magnify this time many times more. Imagine, and he's going to give you a case. Rabbi Taub says he gives this to his children as a story when he puts them to sleep. He tells his children the story. In Melech Gadol Verav, imagine a great king, great and mighty king, someone we look at, a great, powerful person. Mara Avasi Hagdoila Vatsuma shows his love to a lowly, despised, someone who people despised, low person, umenuvel, disgraced, umuto ba'ashba, who's in the garbage. I don't know, I was thinking of an example. Imagine a guy who's homeless for 10 years, sitting on the side of the road. Nobody cares about him. Nobody's showing him any love. Totally down in the dumps. He's in the dumps for 10, 20 years. And the king, the king, this great person, leaves his palace, his throne, his holy place, and he's traveling with his whole entourage, right? He got the Secret Service with him. He has all the security guards. He has the paparazzi, whatever. Everybody's following the king. And the king goes over to this low person living in the garbage. I think about, like, unfortunately, we see today back these image of the homeless people, someone who nobody looks at, nobody cares about. Lifts him up from the garbage, from the dunghill, from this low place where he's been. And he brings him, the king comes with his whole entourage, with the security service, the security detail, with all the paparazzi, and he takes this guy, this homeless guy who's been homeless for 10 years, 20 years, living all alone. Nobody could care less about this person. He brings him into Heichal HaMelech, into his palace, into the royal deepest chambers, where he doesn't let anybody in, his personal room, his bedroom, his kitchen, his personal space. No other servant or high people cannot enter there. And becomes one with him there. He sits down, he has a coffee with him at the table. With real closeness, he hugs him, and he kisses him. Connecting spirit, with a real connection, a real bond. Imagine how that person will feel about the king. Could it be possible for the person not to love the king? It will be impossible. So this alachas kama v'kama, now take this even times, now magnify this even more. So first we started off saying, just by regular people who are equal stature, the heart reflects the heart. Now only imagine a guy who nobody cares about, nobody wants to look at, lives in the garbage. The greatest, powerful person of the time comes, lifts this person out, hugs him, kisses him, loves him, spends time with him, and shows him tremendous love. Could he not love him back? And now magnifying that infinitely times more with God. Well, we're not by Hashem yet. We're still talking about in the parable with the king. How much more the love? If it happens by two friends, where one guy shows love to another person, they feel it back, reciprocate it back. Now magnify it by the king, the greatest, most powerful person with the lowest of low person. If that shows him love, will he not love him back? Infinitely more powerful, the love by these two, but in this way. where they're not even on the same playing field. Even if this guy, this homeless person who's living in the garbage and so nobody cared about, even if his heart is a heart of stone, it will for sure melt and turn to water. You cannot hold back on reflecting, even if you don't want it to reflect. You have no choice. The soul will pour like water with forceful, with his great love that he has to the king. Tremendous love that he has to the king. It'll be impossible to hold back. Let's continue on because we'll get into the parable a little bit here. To the nimshal. And all these things we're telling you. This whole imagery that we're giving you, the king coming down to this low and lowly person, even greater than the imagery we're telling you, because doubled and redoubled, infinitely greater, Hashem, is exactly what Hashem did to us. Why? Well, let's start describing God first. How great Hashem is. There's infinite greatness. There's no limit to getting to the greatness of Hashem. And as we keep on talking in Tanya, this king we're talking about here, he fills all the world. He's everywhere in the world in detail and gives everybody the life and everything they need. And he's infinitely greater than our whole world. He surrounds our world. When we want to talk about how many worlds there are and how God's king over them, we know the Kabbalist, the Arizal would say, the unlimited amount of kind of worlds, levels, infinite. There's no amount to limit how many worlds of angels there are. And angels there are. In the spiritual world we're talking. We even know today in the physical galaxies that there are so many. In the spiritual ones, there's infinite, literally. And in every world, there are levels. Malachim, there are riboy revavis, lenkates or tachlis. There are tons of groups of angels in the worlds, in the different infinite worlds. Like the Talmud, the Gemara says, it's infinite. There's no limit to the amount of different groups of angels there are. And it says there's 10 times 10,000 in each group. In each one of those infinite groups, there are that there is 10 times 10,000 in one group, but there's infinite amount of groups. And relative to Hashem, to the greatest king, infinitely greater than any king we could imagine in our world, they're all nothing. All these different levels are nothing relative to Hashem. They're totally nullified to Hashem. To explain the length, try to give an example. Tanya keeps on bringing it up. What does it mean something's insignificant relative to something else? We said like speech, one word relative to our energy, to our mouth. We speak millions and hundreds of, we have the ability to speak hundreds of, or infinite amount of words, as long as we keep on living. One word that was spoken relative to that is nothing. But then we say, compare it to the mind, which gives the mouth the ability to speak, or the heart, which gives it the emotion that wants to think, that wants to speak, or relative to the soul that has capacity to the mind, to the heart, relative to that, it's nothing. So all these worlds, no matter how great and how much they are, they're nothing to Hashem. And all the angels that are created are saying, they're saying, where can we honor God? They all say, where's God? We want to honor him. We want to sing his praises. And they answer, everywhere is God's place. And Yisrael Amai, who are they? They're the Jewish people. You have to look at the Jewish people. The whole physical world is full with his glory. How come? Because of the Jewish people. Why? Because Hashem left all these worlds, infinite worlds and angels and everything alone. Didn't choose anyone but his nation Israel. He took us out from the lowest of places, like we discussed in our Chumash. They would have, right? We were discussing in the Parsha. They would marry, there was incest going on there. It was the lowest places was Egypt. And guess what? The Jews almost were gone. We were like that homeless person who everyone forgot about. We were there, right? For 210 years. We almost looked like the Goyim. We were serving idols. We did stop doing bris, as we discussed in our Parsha class the other day. Hashem took us from we were the 49 lowest levels. If Hashem wouldn't take us out, we would be gone. We would be done. There would be no hope. There would be no way to restore us. And Hashem went to the lowest place, Makom Hazua Mavatuma, which was the most disgusting, immoral place at the time. And who took us out? Lo yidei malach, like we say in the Haggadah, not through an angel, but lo yidei shliach, not through a messenger. God himself went down there. Like it says, God himself, we say in the Haggadah, went himself down to the lowest of low to take us out from the lowest of low. We were that dirty person, low person. Why did he do with us? Bring us up to the highest of height. To come close to Hashem with a true oneness, with a real soul-to-soul bond, kissing, hugging, like the king taking the Yidden in. We were the lowest of low and bringing us up to the highest of height, the closest to Hashem, kissing mouth to mouth. How do we kiss Hashem? By speaking words of Torah. That's how we're literally kissing God. We're coming home with Hashem. And spirit to connect mentally, emotionally to Hashem, real oneness, like in a real intimacy. Is by us learning Torah and knowing God's will and wisdom. Because we discussed in Tanya also at length that with God's intellect, when you study it, you literally become one with Hashem. Because the Torah is God's wisdom, and by you becoming one in your brain, you're becoming one with Hashem. And God's hugging us. By us doing the mitzvahs, the 248 positive commandments, we're getting a hug from Hashem. What's God's body? God has no physical body. You want to know what his body is? His body is his mitzvah. Do the physical mitzvah, now you're one. And they're generally split into three categories, meaning the 248 mitzvahs we have, which it's either yamin, small, the emtza, right, left, or center, which refers to, in Kabbalistic terms, chesed, din, rachamim, train, drayin, v'gufa. There's two arms. There's the right arm, and then that's kindness, and the gvura is the left arm. Rachamim, compassion, represents the body. So just like by a hug, a person wraps both, a real good hug, a bear hug, both hands, and their bodies all connected. That is when a Jew does all the different kinds of mitzvahs that we have. We have this bond and this connection to the Creator, to Hashem at that very special moment. So that's it, my friends. This is the new meditation that we're studying today. Is that it's not an intellectual meditation about study how great Hashem is, but it's a meditation on just realize how much Hashem loves you. And if you would realize how much Hashem loves you, then you will love Hashem. It's a very beautiful way. We're going to continue to talk about it. How do we stay motivated? Because this is something that happened a very long time ago. And we say, no, Hashem keeps on saving us every day. We keep on seeing Hashem's love every single moment. We just have to realize how much Hashem loves us, and we will love Hashem back. And this is the healthy way that a Jew does Torah mitzvahs and a Jew serves Hashem. Any questions or comments on today's Tanya? Today's very positive Tanya. Yeah, let me see the text. There's Baidadut. What are you trying to write? Zoha, also considered Jewish woman. I don't know what that's referring to.